Good morning and welcome to another episode of Crypto Daily. Today is shaping up to be a big day in the crypto world with major funding announcements and some key developments in the Layer 1 blockchain space.
That's right. We're seeing some significant investments being made, particularly with Avalanche raising $250 million in a token sale led by Galaxy Digital, Dragonfly, and ParaFi Capital. This comes hot on the heels of the Avalanche 1000 upgrade going live in a testnet environment.
Yeah, that's a huge vote of confidence in the Avalanche platform, especially considering the major overhaul they're undertaking with their Layer 1 blockchain. This funding will likely play a key role in supporting those efforts.
And it's not just Avalanche making waves today. We're also seeing some interesting developments in the stablecoin space with Perena, a stablecoin trading startup, trying its luck on Solana.
That's a great point. Perena wants to position itself as the neutral layer, bringing liquidity to stablecoin issuers. It's an ambitious goal, but with the right backing and support, they might just be able to make it happen.
Anna Yuan, the former stablecoin lead at the Solana Foundation, is behind Perena, and she's already secured around $3 million in a pre-seed funding round led by Borderless Capital. It's clear that there's a lot of excitement around this project.
And it's not hard to see why. Stablecoins are a rapidly growing subsector of the crypto market, and any platform that can provide a reliable, neutral layer for trading and liquidity is going to be in high demand.
Exactly, and with Perena building on Solana, they're positioning themselves to take advantage of the fast transaction times and low fees that Solana is known for. It's an interesting combination, and we'll be keeping a close eye on how it develops.
We'll be diving deeper into both of these stories throughout the episode, exploring the implications of Avalanche's funding and the potential for Perena to disrupt the stablecoin space. But first, let's take a closer look at the market reaction to these announcements and what it might mean for investors.
Sounds good to me. The markets are always a good place to start when trying to understand the impact of these kinds of developments. And with the crypto market being as volatile as it is, every little bit of insight can help investors make more informed decisions.
Building on what we discussed earlier about regulatory bodies cracking down on crypto exchanges, we have another example of this in Australia. Kraken's Australian exchange operator, BitTrade, has been fined a whopping $5.1 million by the Australian Securities and Investments Commission.
That's right. The fine is for unlawfully issuing a credit facility in the country, specifically for offering high-risk margin trading products to retail customers. It seems like regulators are really starting to take a closer look at the activities of these exchanges and holding them accountable.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the fine itself, but also the message it sends to other exchanges operating in the country. If they're not complying with regulations, they can expect similar penalties. This could have a ripple effect and lead to more exchanges being more cautious with their offerings.
Speaking of being cautious, it's interesting to note that this fine comes at a time when many exchanges are trying to expand their services and attract more customers. It's a delicate balance between offering innovative products and ensuring compliance with regulations.
That's true, and it's not just exchanges that are trying to innovate. We've also seen a lot of creativity and innovation in the metaverse space. In fact, the Sandbox Awards recently announced their winners for 2024.
Ah, yes, the Sandbox Awards recognize the best experiences and creations within the Sandbox ecosystem. I heard they're kicking it up a notch this year with a more extensive judging process and a wider range of categories.
That's right. The Sandbox's Game Maker Fund program manager, PJ, told Decrypt that they're taking the awards to the next level. They had a 15-person jury reviewing submissions and selecting the winners. It's great to see the metaverse community coming together to celebrate creativity and innovation.
And it's not just about the awards themselves, but also the impact they have on the community. Recognizing and rewarding creators can help drive more innovation and experimentation in the space.
Absolutely. It's a great way to encourage people to push the boundaries of what's possible in the metaverse. And who knows, maybe we'll see some of these winners go on to create even more amazing experiences in the future.
I'm excited to see what the future holds for the Sandbox and the metaverse as a whole. It's an exciting space to watch, and we'll continue to keep an eye on it as it evolves.
Yesterday, we talked about how the crypto market has been experiencing a significant shift towards more altcoin dominance. And it seems like that trend is continuing. Chainlink's LINK token has just gained 15.9% in a single day, leading the CoinDesk 20 index higher.
That's right. And what's even more interesting is that Uniswap's Uni token also rose by 8.6%, making it a top performer alongside Chainlink. This surge in altcoin prices has pushed the CoinDesk 20 index up by 1.7% since Wednesday.
It's worth noting that 17 out of the 20 assets in the index are currently trading higher. This suggests that the market is experiencing a broad-based rally rather than just a few isolated gains.
Exactly, and if we look at the leaders and laggards, we can see that Link and Uni are the clear winners, while HBAR and BTC are lagging behind. It's interesting to see Bitcoin underperforming compared to some of these altcoins.
Speaking of Bitcoin, it's interesting to note that Ether volume has been overshadowing it on Hyperliquid's perpetuals market. In fact, Hyperliquid's Ether perpetuals have done more volume this week than BTC.
That's a significant development, especially considering that Hyperliquid's total perp volume since inception has surpassed the $500 billion mark. This suggests that users are becoming increasingly interested in trading Ether, and the platform is benefiting from this trend.
And it's not just the platform that's benefiting. The Hyper token has surged over 300% in just 2 weeks. This is a remarkable gain, and it's interesting to see how the market is responding to this increased activity on Hyperliquid.
Building on what we discussed earlier about altcoin dominance, it's clear that the market is becoming increasingly interested in alternatives to Bitcoin. Whether it's Chainlink, Uniswap, or Ether, these altcoins are starting to gain significant traction.
It will be interesting to see how this trend continues to play out in the coming days and weeks. Will Bitcoin regain its dominance, or will these altcoins continue to lead the charge?
One thing's for sure, the crypto market is never dull, and there's always something new and exciting happening. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and bringing you updates as the situation unfolds.
We just discussed the importance of regulatory clarity in the U.S. for the crypto market, and now it seems we have some developments on that front. According to a report from Bloomberg, President-elect Donald Trump is considering Brian Quintenz, the policy head for Andreessen Horowitz's crypto division, to lead the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
That's an interesting choice. Quintenz has experience as a former CFTC commissioner, so he's familiar with the agency. But what's notable here is his current role at A16Z, one of the most influential venture capital firms in the crypto space. This could signal a more crypto-friendly approach from the CFTC.
Exactly, and it's worth noting that A16Z has been a major player in shaping crypto policy discussions in the U.S. Having someone with Quinten's background and expertise leading the CFTC could be a significant development for the industry.
Building on what we discussed earlier about regulatory clarity, this appointment could have a major impact on the market. If Quintenz is confirmed, it could lead to more favorable conditions for crypto companies and investors.
Speaking of favorable market conditions, Chainlink has been on a tear lately. The decentralized Oracle network has surged to its highest level since January 2022, reaching $29.45 on Thursday.
That's a 20% gain over the last 7 days and a 119% increase over the past month, making it one of the best performing cryptos in recent weeks. What's driving this rally?
According to CoinGecko data, the demand for Chainlink from sophisticated investors is on the rise. The futures open interest for Link has reached a record high, indicating that institutional investors are taking a closer look at the asset.
This is a great example of how crypto assets can benefit from increased institutional participation. As more sophisticated investors enter the market, we're likely to see more price stability and growth.
And it's not just Chainlink that's benefiting from this trend. We've seen other crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum also experiencing increased institutional demand.
This is a positive sign for the overall health of the market. As institutional investors become more comfortable with crypto assets, we're likely to see more mainstream adoption and growth.
It'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to the potential appointment of Brian Quintenz to the CFTC and how it affects the regulatory landscape for crypto companies and investors.
And we'll be keeping a close eye on Chainlink's performance, as well as the broader market trends, to see if this rally can sustain itself in the coming weeks.
Well, we've seen some major developments in the crypto world today, and I think one of the biggest stories that caught my attention was the surge of Chainlink's LINK token to 2021 levels. What do you make of this sudden spike?
It's quite fascinating, really. With Trump's World Liberty buying more Chainlink tokens, it seems like institutional interest is really driving the price up. The fact that Link is now World Liberty Financial's fourth largest holding after Ether, Bitcoin, and Tether is no small feat.
And let's talk about the numbers. Open interest on the token's futures has reached record highs above $860 million. This is a clear indication that investors are taking notice of Chainlink's potential. We discussed earlier how Chainlink has been expanding its ecosystem, and it seems like these efforts are finally paying off.
Exactly, and I think this is a great example of how real-world adoption and institutional investment can impact the price of a token. It's not just speculation. There are actual use cases and demand driving the price up.
Speaking of real-world adoption, we also saw the launch of Super USDC, a DeFi product from VanEck-backed Superform that promises to offer intelligent USDC yield. What are your thoughts on this new product?
I think it's an interesting development in the DeFi space. With the rise of stablecoins, there's a growing demand for yield-generating products that are both secure and easy to use. Super USDC seems to fit the bill, with its set-and-forget approach to earning high yield on Circle's stablecoin.
And it's worth noting that Superform has been functioning as a decentralized marketplace for yield protocols since its launch in early access this year. This is just another example of how DeFi is evolving to meet the needs of investors.
Absolutely, and I think what's exciting about Super USDC is that it's not just limited to Ethereum. It can also be used on dedicated scaling solutions like Arbitrum and Optimism. This could open up new opportunities for investors to earn yield across different platforms.
As we wrap up today's episode, what are your final thoughts on the market outlook? Do you think this surge in Link is a sign of things to come for the broader crypto market?
I think it's definitely a positive sign. We've seen a lot of bearish sentiment in the market lately, but this sudden spike in Link shows that there's still a lot of potential for growth. Of course, it's always important to be cautious and do your own research, but I think this could be a good indication of a turnaround in the market.
And what about key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be keeping an eye on in the coming days?
I think the main takeaway is to keep an eye on institutional investment and real-world adoption. These are the factors that are driving growth in the market, and we're seeing it play out in real time with Chainlink and Super USDC. As always, it's essential to stay informed and stay vigilant. The crypto market is always full of surprises.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you all in the next one.